right. Well, we are back with another edition of the Optrics Insider. My name is Scott Young, and with me I have Sean Sturby, our Technical Services Manager. So good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
So we have three topics to discuss today. KnowBe4, which is a well-known security awareness training. Their emails were spoofed. Also on that topic, it's been shown that if you are training your staff with security awareness training on what not to click, it does wear off after about 4 to 6 months. So I'm sure Sean has more on that. And finally, there is a new flaw with Windows with a zero login. So look forward to hearing about all that. So let's start talking about KnowBe4 being spoofed.
Yeah, apparently it's not the first time it's happened. So KnowBe4, they do the security training, but they also do the spoofing testing. So they will send out an email claiming to be somebody. You want to get your Tim Hortons gift card, click here. And since they're hosting the site, they can see who it was that they had sent the testing email to and who then needs to take some remediation training. Well, the bad actors out there, they decided that KnowBe4 would be a good person or a good company to impersonate, and so they sent out a mandatory training update. Hey, you haven't finished your KnowBe4 training. Why haven't you finished it? You got to click on this link. And they even prefaced it to say that the link that this training is going to be sent from is not the usual link. So they even were trying to get around the people who had been trained. Oh yeah, I remember this training. Okay, I'll just click on this. So big takeaway from here is, doesn't matter who you are, you can get spoofed, and they are very, very tricky. They are trying to get into your network or trying to get credentials to get into your network somehow. And the most effective way is to get somebody, an end user, to type it into a web page that the malware writer is in control of.
Yeah, and actually that I think what I'm going to do in the show notes is I'm going to include a link to a red flags social engineering PDF you can download for those of you who are watching this, so that you can send it to your staff and have a look at it, but send it to your staff on what all the things that you should look at when there are potential phishing email. So that would be useful. Cool. Okay. So speaking of phishing emails, turns out that it does wear off, even if you are training your staff.
That's right. So it was a recent report where it's not a once and done. You can't just say, hey, I've trained my staff and it's good forever. It's like inoculations. 12 months after, people were saying that they didn't remember what those red flags that you'd mentioned earlier were. There were some things that you could do to make it more effective, more interactive video training, actual exams or tests, reminder measures. So the article goes on to say that somewhere between the 4 and 6 month mark, the training that they've received has become a lot less effective than immediately after. So if you're going to have a training program, it's not a once and done. Definitely you want to do it on a regular basis. Change, it's like underwear and passwords. You want to change them regularly. Well, with security training, you want to do it regularly.
Right. Interesting. That's definitely a good reminder. That's why I know with KnowBe4 they have annual subscriptions, so it's not meant to be just one and done, like you said, but to do your phishing tests and simulations randomly, so you can throughout the year, so you can see how people are reacting and remembering what not to click. Okay, so let's finish off with the zero login flaw in Windows.
Yeah, so this is actually very nasty. Most small to medium businesses or even large businesses, they will have a Windows server or two on their network that are the holder of the crown jewels, the actual user accounts that are used to log on to not just the computers that people are logging on to, but onto the servers that hold all of the information, the databases, the file stores, everything. Well, CVE 2020-1472 has been released, and the researchers, they didn't just say, hey, it's possible to exploit this process, but there's been a proof of concept, or POC, that has been released as well, that basically, if somebody has access to a domain controller, that server that holds all the passwords, they don't even need to have an account themselves. They could just be on your guest Wi-Fi as long as it has access to the network segment that the Active Directory server is on. And by sending especially crafted packets with a lot of zeros in them, that's why it's called zero logon, they were able to change passwords on the server.
Hmm.
It's a very bad flaw. The Department of Homeland Security gave everybody that they're in control of, only about 4 days to make sure that that patch was put onto all of the servers that they're in control of. And so it's definitely one that you want to get patched. And one thing that a lot of people won't think about is all of these network attached storage devices. You get a little NAS and you put it on your network, and you put, oh, hey, you can authenticate against this. Great. Well, the whole process behind the scenes that makes it look like a Windows server and authenticate users is called Samba, S-A-M-B-A. And that open source product, Samba, also suffers from this zero login flaw because it's had replicated exactly how Microsoft had built the protocol initially.
Hmm.
So not only do you want to patch your servers, you want to make sure that all of your NASs are up to date as well. I think you have a NAS at home, don't you?
I do. Yeah, a QNAP. So thank you for that reminder. Well, another crazy week in the internet world, but wow. Okay, so I guess the first thing with KnowBe4 being spoofed is if you use KnowBe4 is to let your staff know about it so that they don't click on that link. If you don't use KnowBe4, well then make sure your staff know not to click that link because maybe they think you've signed up for it. If you're interested in learning more about KnowBe4 because you don't have any security awareness training, certainly get in touch with us. We would love to talk to you about that. I'm also going to include a link to that document. It's a downloadable PDF for the red flags for social engineering, so your staff can identify what a phishing email looks like. A friendly reminder, if you do use phishing awareness training or considering it, does wear off after 4 to 6 months, so something that you need to be doing continuously. And also there is a new nasty zero login flaw in Windows, and it sounds like Samba as well. So, wow, okay. Well, thanks, Sean. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment or a question for us. We do review those. All right. Well, thanks, Sean, for your time this week. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.